Women of their 30s and 40s rocking a podcast.
I don't like rules around fashion.
We're pretty relatable, guys.
There's nothing that gets used to that rub.
A fussy taint.
Just don't say it.
Said, what do you want me to do? Tell him no?
Yeah. You will take that out. Welcome back to Pretty Relatable.
This feels like kind of like riding a bike for the first time, but also we've done it before, so we're not supposed to forget how to do it.
I feel totally good. There's no issue over here on my side of things. I am prepared. The only thing that could improve this is if I had curled my hair, but you know what? We're in a rebuilding phase.
What could improve this for me is if my mouth didn't feel dry and I didn't feel like I was about to sneeze.
Can still see myself.
All right, so that was a long nap.
It was a long nap.
It was a tiring time. We just needed to sleep it out.
Sometimes life hits you with
an Ambien.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
It said
sleep aids. Honestly, there were not sleep aids. It was not a restful time.
It was a year.
It was a lot.
And it's been a good 5 years of pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, it happens, you know, and that's okay because we're here for the party. And I just want everyone to know that social media is not an easy landscape to be a part of.
It's a marathon.
Right.
You know?
And there's ups and downs.
Yeah. Sometimes you fall down. Sometimes you don't want to get back up. Sometimes you just want to stay down for a little while.
You got to take a time out sometimes, and that's okay.
You do.
Mental health.
Yes. I believe we said it previously in one of our other episodes that this is meant to kind of be like therapy a little bit in a way. Like, not meant to be, but like can be.
Right.
Therapeutic for us to spill, therapeutic for you guys to hear and relate.
It's pretty relatable.
It's pretty relatable.
We hope.
And we're hoping to bring even more of that into future episodes where we relate, you relate, we all relate.
And it's just a fun like round table of, you know, just commiserating. Yeah.
Is that supposed to be like you're all in misery?
I think so.
Is that like
co is together, right?
Yeah.
And miserating is let's do the old Google. Although guys, I have not been doing that as much lately.
ChatGPT.
Me and ChatGPT were tight.
You're best friends.
We really are.
They're on a first name basis.
To feel or express sorrow or pity for, sympathize with, to feel or express sympathy. But ultimately, I think it is with someone else. You're not going to commiserate with yourself. I mean, maybe you would. Maybe you would.
How can you? I don't know. You would be the same. There's nothing to commiserate on. You just
have sympathy for myself.
I mean,
with myself. For myself.
I'm pre-Googling something that I wanted to talk about. That's not pre-Googling. I'm Googling right on camera.
Yeah, right now. Also, if there's ever anything you guys want us to talk about, feel free to shout it out in the comments or wherever you're listening to our podcast.
Okay. So, nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed.
I still don't understand. There's a microphone in front of me that I cannot punch.
I was watching back some of our vlogs, our podcast when we were trying to get the setup right because this did not stay intact exactly as it should. And you would hit it and we were like, Steph, you got to talk with your hands less. You got to keep them low.
I really do talk with my hands.
You really do.
And right now my nose is running.
I have a tickle on mine. We're going to have a nose break.
This is just going to be, oh God, it's really going. Slow down.
We don't have producers. We don't have editors. We don't have a team behind us. I mean, we technically do have a team behind us.
On the other wall.
2 rooms over. That's
for the clothing store.
Yeah, they're fulfilling orders for our boutique, Madison and Mallory. So it's fun.
I don't understand this. Okay, so let's just kick this one off. This is, like I said, a reintroduction, like a layout of ideas that we have and like things that are going on maybe in our lives, but also just in general that we're just going to talk about. But we had some funny themes / like portions of the podcast. Segments, if you will, that we should talk about. But first, should we catch up?
I mean, it's whatever.
There's not really much to catch up on.
We don't have a firm schedule of events.
Like, I'm a year older.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Yeah. I'd like to say a year smarter, but I think I stopped getting smarter.
Maybe.
I think I'm staying about the same.
Yeah. Like there were life events that sucked that we don't have to hash out.
No.
You know, honestly, I think, you know, it's just
we're not divorced.
No, we're not. Just the normal kind of life events that happen. And we do run our business that is pretty time consuming for most of, you know, and so that's just what keeps us away from doing the other stuff.
That's our 9 to 5, if you will.
Yeah. So this is our
side hustle.
Right. That's what I was going to say. So
side hustle. Yeah, we're a year older. I have been blonde, brunette, blonde.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not super blonde right now, but
blonder. We didn't want to step away. It just kind of was the natural order of events.
Like I can't even pinpoint exactly what happened. There's a hair, I think, on my face. I can't pinpoint the exact moment of what happened because it just happened.
Yeah. She is struggle streeting over here.
I am struggle streeting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Struggle streeting?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, there's not anything really big to update on. Like I said, we're not divorced. Just chilling through life. Life's happening. And sometimes when life happens, you don't want to, you know, do things. So you just don't.
You just go through the motions and the bare minimums and you do the things you have to do, but not the extra stuff.
Right.
And this is the extra stuff right now that we want to be the regular fun stuff that we do all the time.
I need you to help me get this hair off my... Do you see it?
No.
It's like here.
I don't see anything. No.
Am I having a phantom
Yeah, I don't
nerve?
see anything.
I think I'm having a phantom
Yeah,
nerve.
I don't see anything.
On my nose. Oh, I hate that. Anyways, but the universe was screaming at us to come back to social media. And so we're going to try.
We're just going to dive in. Let's talk about some fun, interesting events that are happening out in the world. How about we go there?
So first things first, I wanted to show you something.
Okay.
So we were talking about doing the segment, so I Googled something. Okay. I don't know why that's on there.
TikTok.
Yeah. We talked about doing a segment that was like relatable or ridiculous. Where we talked about things and we were like, is that like relatable or is it ridiculous? And so I Googled that and it came up with a bunch of memes and I haven't looked at it yet. And it loaded. Okay. I don't, these aren't relatable. Like, oh wait, no, maybe. I don't know. Like, it's just memes. And the title is Relatable or Ridiculous.
Well, I think that's talking about like
the characters.
Yeah. And I'm not up on my Star Wars enough to know what that's about. So that's a skip.
I don't, but none of these, like when I tell someone I'm on my way and it's like a blanket with a bike on it.
Because you're still in bed.
Yeah.
You're still in bed, baby. But like you're lying to yourself.
When you realize that no help is coming, you're an adult and have to motivate yourself to move forward. Is a dog walking himself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's relatable.
I think where I envision the relatable or ridiculous going is something like a celebrity event that happens, you know, and there's this big outpouring of people's opinions on it.
Right.
And then we can weigh in on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we have any of those in this moment.
No.
But
I do have to share this because kid stuff always makes me laugh. Like when they say the darndest things. So it says, Miss King asked her students to use the word single in a sentence. Miss King is single. That means she does not have a man.
I like how there's a red.
No man.
There's no man in Miss King's life. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Anyways, that's what happened when I Googled that. But that was a portion that we're hoping to
incorporate,
hash out, figure out how it's going to work and incorporate it in. I like that.
So I don't remember what I was searching or how I stumbled upon this, but it was a photo. I want to say Ellen Pompeo with the push-up bra and a sheer shirt.
You were like, push-up bras are back.
Yeah. And I don't think that's really like a relatable or ridiculous thing necessarily, but I can tell you what I do like is her deciding, or her and her stylist, as it probably is, that, you know what, she's going to rock it and she's going to be fabulous because I think she looks hot. Like,
yeah.
Because Ellen Pompeo and I are no spring chickens. Let's be honest.
I still think I have a hair on my nose. It is so tickly.
Do you want me to get up and look at it?
Let me look at it on the camera.
I don't see anything.
I think I'm imagining it.
I think you are too, because I see nothing.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to make my nose so pink.
Red, yeah.
Shh. I just have to keep itching it until it stops. I don't know what's
Let's
going on.
find out how old Ellen Pompeo is.
I mean, late 40s?
No.
50s?
No. 55.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when I tell you, I started watching Grey's Anatomy.
You thought she was a woman.
I started watching Grey's Anatomy in, I want to say like...
I'm going to keep touching. I'm not picking my nose.
I think I started watching Grey's Anatomy. When did Grey's Anatomy start? Because I started watching it and I remember thinking like, she's pretty. She was always pretty. But I remember from my position, she's 12 years older than me. So like she was probably in her 30s when she started and I was in my early 20s. And so it was just like, she's older. Because when you're 20, if someone's in their 30s, they're ancient.
They're an adult.
Like,
and you're like,
that is so ridiculous, by the way.
I can't.
But I mean, I relate to it from when I was in my 20s, so I understand. It makes sense. It's fine. 2005.
No, wait. That one keeps coming over and tickling me. It's blowing in the wind.
2005 is when Grey's Anatomy started. So I would have been 24 and she would have been like 37. Old-ish. 36, 37. So, already I felt like she was old. Not old, but like when you're in your 20s, yeah, you think that people in their late 30s are old. So anyway, I think it's awesome that she, is out here rocking the push-up bra with a sheer top. I think she looks really cool. And I think there should be more opportunities for women of a variety of ages to rock whatever they want and there not be this...
Women of their 30s and 40s rocking a podcast.
There you go. I don't think there's ages on that.
Yes, but how many women in the podcasting mainstream? I'm not saying we're mainstream. Maybe one day. That you know of, like if you were to name a podcast that are popular right now, they're all mostly women in their 20s.
Yeah.
No, some are in their 30s, but not a lot.
Yeah, no, I think that the thing that I don't love is just the age restrictions around things.
It's so stupid.
I challenge those people who are trying to put those age restrictions on things. I can't say it. My tongue is so angry today, you guys, and I apologize. This is a terrible day to be doing the podcast, but I ate tomatoes last night in chicken pasta.
They wrecked your mouth.
It just wrecked. Tomorrow I will appreciate a good mouth day, but today is not that day.
I think that like the thing that frustrates me with the age thing is I'm spitty today. I think the thing that frustrates me is that it's more about where you are in your life and what your interests are in your life. So like for me, even if somebody is say 26 or 27, younger than me, but they have kids and they're living that like
completely different life timeline.
Right. Like I
and
think,
life space.
We got nothing in common.
We're over here bebopping being like, I mean, we're not Gen Zs, but like more Gen Z stuff in our life. Mm-hmm.
Especially because of the girls that work for us.
That and being in the social media space and having our boutique, like all of those things, I feel like trend us younger for
things that are surrounding us.
Right.
Like obviously I'm not trying to be younger. I'm not trying to be older. I'm just trying to be me.
I'm just trying to live my life.
But I think it should be more interest life stage based. Unless like, oh, you're in your 30s and 40s.
You're not
and
allowed
like
to do that.
You can't relate.
Yeah.
We're pretty relatable, guys.
If you didn't know what you were listening to, we're going to
how many times you can put that in.
Just take a shot
to the conversation
every time. One thing we're also gonna work on is not saying and like. But it is pretty relatable.
Like I totally will try that.
Yeah.
So one thing about us is we've been in social media since 2009.
We have. Which when you think about YouTube started in 2005, that is so wild that barely 4 years because it was early 2009. So early.
When people talk to us about it and they're like, well, when did you start? We're like 2009. And the person talking to us probably would have been
a toddler.
If that, like, okay, if somebody's like 18 right now,
so
they would have been 2. Yeah, they would have been 2. They would have quite literally been 2.
Yeah.
When we started YouTube.
Yeah.
But talking about that.
Not making complete sentences.
Correct. We've been on the platform a long time. We've gone to a lot of events, and we've had to dress ourselves for a lot of those events with one of our favorite stores.
We have. Oh my gosh. I didn't know we were going here.
Yeah, I just decided to bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's such a...
That is so part of our early 2009 to...
It's part of the 11th Gorgeous lore.
It really is, you guys. Like, I have stories. Forever 21 is closing. It's so sad.
Is it for sure closing everything? I know it's filed for bankruptcy.
I mean, I thought it was closing all of its stores.
Yeah.
And this is part of that crazy, like, private equity, just companies going in and buying companies. I don't know. And then, like, doing stuff with their debt, like selling their debt or like leveraging their debt into these adjustable rate mortgages, adjustable rate loans. And then they're, I think, selling those loans to other places or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's something that ends up making them have to file for bankruptcy and like tearing them to pieces,
like
basically.
Joann's, Party City, Forever 21.
So Party City, is that why ours closed? Because they're going away. So.
And our Joann's closed. So it may not be every single. I mean, it says Forever 21 closing sales, set to shut down its U.S. operations, going out of business.
Jeez, yeah. So
2 days ago, closing Florida, Alabama stores. This is asking to close 355 locations, including all 23 in Florida, listing liabilities between $1 and $5 billion.
Is this just as closing all stores?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to close online.
It just says multiple states, including Florida, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and California, where the company was headquartered, have already seen Forever 21 stores closed down.
It's the second time they've filed in 6 years.
Ugh. Rising costs, decreases in mall traffic and discretionary consumer spending.
All I know is when me and Tracy were faced with a VidCon, with a playlist live or an IMATS, any of the above.
We hit up Forever 21 online.
We drove an hour away.
Or shopped online.
In the early days, we drove an hour away.
We did.
And we spent some time in the Galleria.
An event.
Shopping. And it was fun.
It was.
But no, it was fun, but it was
chaotic.
It was exhausting.
Yeah. And our Forever 21 was never really well set up. We would go to other places and it was always so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
it was an event. And then years later, we would order a ton offline.
Yes.
And have like try on sessions and pick out our outfits for all the events.
Forever 21 is, a really affordable place to get your clothes and shoes and accessories and everything. And that is where I truly learned how to online shop, because they would put the measurements of the clothing, like the size small or whatever. And I knew my measurements, so I could just compare and I would say like, oh, well, if my waist is 27 inches and that dress is 26 and a small, I'm going to have to get a medium.
But also they would have the model sizes. So you would get to see like if that model's waist is like a 24 or 25 and it looks tight on her.
Right.
Regardless of the measurements, there's no way.
Or if she was 5'10" and the dress looked kind of long on her.
It would be long on
it's going to be like no go.
Yeah, we were hardcore shopping some Forever 21. That is part of our history.
Yeah, I'm really sad about it.
Like we didn't really shop anywhere else.
No.
It was I had so much Forever 21 stuff.
Yeah. And I know that article kind of mentioned that fast fashion was something that was hurting them or whatever. But when I tell you, I still have Forever 21 pieces in my closet. Yeah. I'm just not a person that buys something, wears it a couple times and throws it away. Like I don't do that. I either donate it like to Goodwill or
to somebody else that's interested.
Sorry, that door sounded so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also do Poshmark and stuff. I feel like that's a really good option. But I don't think that just because clothing is affordable that you have to think of it as throwaway or like...
I think the problem is just that a lot of people do. But
it's crazy.
But for me, I've never felt that way.
No.
I keep stuff.
I do too.
And I wear it. And I don't... Like I'm gentle on it.
Right.
Like I don't wash my clothes every single time I wear it. I'm very
if I can tell you anything about taking care of your clothing, especially your affordable pieces, unless it's like touching the hot zones, like you don't have to wash it every single time you wear it.
Like some of your athletic stuff, and you may have to do more, but like jeans, like sweaters, like cardigans.
Leggings, my rule is I wash them and I do not put them in the dryer. They hang dry.
How many times do you wear your leggings before you wash them?
One time.
Just one time?
One time.
I'll occasionally wear mine twice.
Yeah. I have like so many pairs.
That you don't have to.
That I don't have to, but also in having a bunch of pairs, like they don't show wear. Mm-mm. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a pair, and I've been rocking some of these for probably 4 years.
Yeah. I feel like I need a fresh pair, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So the dryer's terrible, and the washer always cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it keeps your stuff looking nice longer.
Yeah.
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 Jeans, I rarely wash.
I probably don't even wash this as much as I should.
And sweaters?
I wash them when they get too big, like when they stretch out.
Sweaters are just something, like hit them with some Downy wrinkle release, like refresh them that way. But seriously, unless you get stains on stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of jeans.
Underwear is every single time. We're washing the underwear every single time.
Are you going to wear skinny jeans again? You already have.
I already have. What are you talking about? I don't like rules around fashion.
I don't either.
I really don't.
You can pop out with a peplum and a bubble necklace?
I'm going to pop it off and show them. No, I don't. And that's fine. Like I can have a preference for a trend that's past that it's, not something I want to rock anymore.
Skinny jeans are a bubble necklace kind of trend. I don't think skinny jeans are in the same category as like a bubble necklace trend.
No.
Like skinny jeans are
they're classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that those.
They're really flattering. My only issue with them is, for me, I equate like I am poured into them. They are tight. So like I have to be in the mood. Whereas I could wear a pair of baggy jeans as long as they're not tight in the waist and kind of feel like I'm wearing comfy clothes.
Right.
That's my only, I have to be in the mood.
And I think like you said, that they're really flattering. I think that there are styles that work better on different body types, but that still doesn't mean you can't rock it if you want to. Yeah. Like I know that I have a longer torso, so lower rise, mid-rise jeans, that's going to make me look like I am cut in half.
Short legs.
Real short legs. Yeah. And so for me, it's more flattering to go with high rise. And that's not been on trend lately. It's been the low rise. Yeah. And I have been there. And I've done the whale tail underwear. And I have done the, when you squat down at, places you're at and your underwear is poking out. Yeah. Or you put your hand back there. Oh God, do you remember how many times you squat down, you put your hand back there?
Oh no, yeah.
To cover it. For crack.
Yeah. I remember being in school and people were inappropriate.
They would pull it. Your underwear is so gross.
Yeah, they would go.
And I'm like, gross.
Oh my God, that's like harassment.
It really is.
Like, don't touch me. But you don't think about that stuff back then. Like
I would punch someone. I don't think I ever experienced that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I had questionable experiences in high school.
No, but I will say that, speaking of underwear, when I was in high school, we were not getting along with tampons. We were not. It was something I could not figure out. And honestly, that probably would have been better, with all the news that's come out about them. But I was rocking the pads. That was the situation I was in. And I was so terrified that you could see them in jeans.
Oh, when I wore pads, all I did was tie things around my waist.
Yes, I would do that. But also I would either double up on like really tight fitting underwear, or I had a pair of swimsuit bottoms that I like to wear because it like really just kept it. Yeah. So we were not rocking thongs much at all.
I don't remember.
So that wasn't really an issue for having people pop my
I did
underwear.
Then, but I don't remember, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not the problem, but like what introduced me to the world of, we'll call them the no-show underwear.
Yeah.
But it's not really, it's just a straight up thong. As Cisco would say, was I danced.
Yeah.
I danced. And so we had to wear them for dance. And so
I wore them.
I got used to them though.
Nope.
I got used to them.
There's nothing that gets used to that rub. There's not. It just...
now I'm so sensitive. Got a fussy taint. If you don't know that reference, we can't be friends. I gotta stop saying
You really do. Just don't say it. Just don't say it. Take a beat. You know what you're gonna say.
Sometimes, and sometimes I'm looking... God.
She's either saying or she's hitting her mic. I feel like I can't drink on camera.
I know. I keep hearing it go.
You're welcome.
I got so used to not wearing them that when I'm wearing regular underwear, if it gets a little wonky, just a little wonky, I'm like,
get it out.
I hate it. It's so uncomfy. And what stopped me from wearing them was when I went to the medical field and I was doing x-ray and wearing scrubs, I couldn't stand how airy it felt.
Oh, yeah. It was all...
Because they're so lightweight
right.
and breathable. It just felt like my butt was on display.
Yeah.
But then also when you didn't wear them, it was bad underwear lines. So it was just bad all around.
Again, I really like everything to be secure. So good fitting underwear and the leggings. Honestly, these leggings are a little bit on the loose side. And
the airy?
No, these are the Sunzel, something like that, but very similar to the airy.
Yeah.
That just like
the airy ones feel too thin.
They're very slinky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like everything is out.
Yeah. We love our Amazon leggings.
Give me compression.
This podcast was brought to you by all of the stuff we buy on Amazon. All the leggings.
Yeah.
Truly the leggings.
Good job.
Because I didn't say
Yeah. I saw you fighting through it. Just don't.
I only have 2 pairs of the flare ones.
I thought you were going to say, I only have 2 filler words.
And
Or like.
And like. So that's 3.
Yeah.
I could come up with something else.
Just fight it.
So that's the 4th one.
It's honestly less triggering for me than.
Well.
It's okay. I think there's a fear of dead air, but is not better.
No.
In my opinion.
No. We went to a college, what would you call it? Presentation for one of our nephews. Lots of ums and uhs.
Yeah.
Lots of ums and uhs. But I was guilty of it then. I'm guilty of it now.
Sure.
But I think I would have tried to have written and almost memorized to a T, like what I was going to say, so I wouldn't say it.
So in my strategic business communications class in college, we had to have a presentation with no note cards. Like we had to create a presentation about something, and you had to be so comfortable.
I always had note cards when I did speeches.
No, that was part of this class. So it's different than public speaking, I would say. She's getting comp. It's different than public speaking. Okay, so this was a business class. This wasn't just public speaking. And do you know how angry I would have been, which I skipped. I changed my major multiple times to skip public speaking classes. And then I got into upper division business school, and I had a strategic business communications class. And I did not know.
You can't get through college without public speaking.
You really can't.
Because I was doing for x-ray, and they were like, whoop, boop.
But say I had taken public speaking, and then I had to take the strategic business, I would have been so mad. Yeah. I would have been angry. Yeah, I hated it.
I hate speaking.
It was my biggest fear. But now we're fine.
I mean, cameras, I'm fine. I still get nervous when we're at events. Well, we don't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah, we don't do that anymore.
I still would get nervous at events to the point where if I had water to the side and I tried to drink it, it was like... But it wasn't the same kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Like my body was nervous, but I didn't have that pit of my stomach like I did.
Yeah.
Because I was excited. I was like, ooh, what do I get to say? Like,
yeah.
But I was also like, there's a lot of people looking at me, so I'm naturally nervous. But it just wasn't the same. Like in school, I had a teacher say, bless her heart.
I couldn't perform in school. It was terrible. I was.
But also like some of the topics, like when you're talking about a book that you don't care about, or a subject that you don't care about, it's like, that makes it even worse.
Right.
Like you should only have to do speeches in school on things that you're passionate about.
The only thing I remember talking about in my strategic business, that's so hard to say with my tongue the way that it is right now.
Strategic business communication.
In that class, I had to talk about building a better mousetrap.
This is so boring.
But I mean, it was kind of interesting because it was talking about that is the kind of crux of all businesses, is how, like, if you can find something.
You're talking about reimagining something that already exists.
Yes. And doing it better.
Which is what all businesses, most of them, not all of them.
Right.
Most of them are.
And you got to find a way.
I.e. Poppy.
Oh.
Recreating a soda that is healthier.
Yeah.
And then selling it off to, what they were fighting against, whatever.
So interesting.
Okay.
So interesting. I have a lot of thoughts around the whole leading up to that sale, I guess, Poppy controversy. It's so interesting, the backlash they got around the Super Bowl with sending the vending machines to influencers. Yeah. And, it's just interesting. I mean, if you're a business and you have the opportunity to send something to someone with 1 million followers and you also have this person over here with 1,000 followers, I mean, for getting the most bang for your buck and the most eyeballs, why wouldn't you send to the person who has 1 million?
Yeah.
Maybe there is an opportunity for something for the person who has 1,000, but I don't think I'm going to send a vending machine to a person who has 1,000. Well, that doesn't mean that person doesn't have value, but the platform the
money that they spend to make it happen, because they've got to transport it to them and then transport it away from them, because they weren't keeping them.
Right.
They were only borrowing them for a little bit. That's the thing. Ooh. There's a thing called ROA. Okay. We've learned this from having you guys are probably like, I get that.
Or
no, I'm not an
ROI.
idiot. Or ROI. I don't know why people do different.
Well, I think with Facebook, it's return on ad.
Well, yeah. I just call everything ROA because it's what I'm used to, but ROI.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to make sure that what you're putting in, you're getting back. So like if I was to spend on a Facebook ad, $100 and I only got $30 in sales, that's not worth it.
Right.
I've spent more than I've made. And they don't just want to spend $100 and get
$100
back. Even though they're making their money back, they didn't get anything. $100, get $200. That's still not good. That's only a 2 times return.
Yeah.
They want to get like 8, 10 times return.
Yeah.
And so
I think if you're in that business, if you are an influencer, and I think sometimes the people who are commenting on it are either not really influencers or they haven't been in the advertising space where they're getting those brand deals and things like that. You just have to understand, like, it's not a personal thing. They may love you as a person, but it has to make dollars and cents.
But what I would say, and this is, look, you're welcome, Tarte and all of the other businesses that have been getting crap for this. I think there is a separate place for them to have a kind of customer small influencer program outreach thing. And I think they could make some really cool viral moments happen with it. And I think they just need to take the time and some of their resources and put it over here. That's not to say send 20 customers to Bora Bora,
right,
and spend $1 million on it,
right?
That's not it.
Because what they're counting on all of the content that you're going to create while you're there, because it's going to go out to all of their followers, and they're going to be talking about it, and they're going to be excited about the products, and then they're going to be pissed off that they're not there, and then they're going to be making TikToks and being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Tarte brought all these people here and not me."
Yeah, and people can say all day long, well, their followers don't even buy Tarte because of them, or I see so-and-so talk about it, makes me not want to buy it. Well, I can guarantee they're probably looking at the outcomes after these trips, and it makes sense for them.
I'm sure.
Like there are people out there buying it. Like
what was it? Revolve was doing Coachella, where they were spending their entire year's budget on Coachella.
Yeah. But I do think with the way TikTok is today, how anyone can make it. Anyone can be an influencer. Like, I think that there are ways for them to, that was cute.
You're welcome.
Ways for them to do it with not just the mega influencers.
It's interesting. We had an experience back in 2016 where we were on a brand trip, and it was a lot of fun, but there was definitely a difference in the way that some of the influencers were treated over others. And we said something about it because they had asked for our feedback. Mm-hmm. And
one thing about me and Tracy, you may not think it on here, but like we give feedback. And in the professional world, working with brands and other companies, like we're not going to just shut up and do what people tell us. Like we have opinions.
Right.
And we're not going to do anything that we don't want to do.
Understand our value, our worth, and I think other people's value. Right. And I think
I don't like seeing other people like
be taken advantage of.
Not treated nicely.
Right. Yeah. And so, it was just an opportunity to give feedback. And it wasn't done in an open forum. It was Stephanie and I and one of the reps.
In a stairwell.
Yeah. And I just was kind of giving feedback that some of the people who were on the trip with us felt that they were treated differently than some of the other influencers. We were split into different spaces. And it was just obvious to some people that it wasn't equal treatment, which matched with follower count. Mm-hmm. And I think, what we said was, if you're going to bring people on a trip like this, I don't think that you should segment them because that's really uncomfortable for everyone involved. If you feel like there's value in bringing them, then give them the same experience.
Yeah.
And I also said, these people that are where they are now, you never know where they're going to be in 6 months, a year.
And like 2 or 3 people from the other house zoomed.
Right.
zoomed. Like if we said their names right now, you'd be like, oh, they're big.
Yeah.
They're really big.
And I just feel like, there is that kind of touchy situation where it's like they are people, but they have a following, and you're not valuing them as a person, but you are looking at the numbers
first
and engagement. It's not solely numbers. Engagement's relevant too, but I just think it's dumb to think that, Tarte would be doing a better job to be sending a bunch of people with 1,000 followers each. That doesn't make sense.
Especially when it's something that they're spending such a large portion of their like marketing on, like their budget.
Yeah.
There's other ways that they, I think, could do things with.
Yeah, I think that there are opportunities for it, and that's fine. And it's not to say that like, you're not good enough, but I do think that if you want to be in that space and you want to be doing those kinds of things, grow your following.
Yeah. And you also have to separate it. So like obviously Tarte is a very profitable brand. So like could they?
I don't know anything about it.
I'm assuming they are.
Right. Allegedly.
Let's assume that they are beyond profitable and have more money than they know what to do with, right? Obviously, could they spend $1 million on sending customers and smaller people out of the goodness of their heart? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what it is. It's business.
It's business. And
like the trips are not charity or goodwill towards these people. It's with the intent of making money.
And I don't know if we've talked about it before, but like brand trips are not new.
Yeah.
Like you told me, we talked about how like editors in magazines and like people that worked for, let's say 17.
Yeah.
Their beauty editor.
Right.
Like the brands would wine and dine them, send them on trips so that their product could get into the magazine.
Yeah.
So it's
concept's not new.
We just all know about it now.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks because I remember looking at those magazines.
No, it's just what you got to think about is it's transactional.
Yeah, but I'm saying I was such a naive, innocent girl going, she said this hair cream makes her hair look amazing. I have to get it.
To have it.
And I knew nothing. I mean,
there was probably fine print somewhere in the magazine.
Sure.
But I don't think the FTC disclosures we have now, it was as apparent. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not to say that editor didn't love the hair cream. But I just thought it was the best hair cream because it made it in 17 magazine in the top 10.
Yeah.
And I had to have it.
We have always, I feel like, we've done a ton of brand deals and have had a ton of opportunities. And it's been, for the most part, I would say positive.
Yeah.
And we tried really hard to make sure we were only talking about things we loved and would be buying anyway.
Yeah.
Were we introduced to some products that we ended up loving? Yeah. Did we have a couple of bad experiences? Yeah. But I would say like for the most part,
I
totally
think it's less than 5 bad experiences.
Yeah.
And we did a lot.
Yeah.
Because we were, I mean, from at least 2010
or 11
through 2019.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of brand deals.
I mean, we worked with Ford, CoverGirl, Benefit, Secret,
Target.
Yeah. Like
I can't even think of all of the stuff.
A lot. Belk.
Revlon.
Yeah.
Maybelline.
I don't know if we did anything with L'Oreal.
But they were kind of the same. Because when we did Maybelline stuff, we got to see.
We went to the L'Oreal labs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of one and the same.
Yeah. No, it's been really cool experiences. Yeah. Tarte. We did a really fun photo shoot with Tarte. That was one of my favorite photo shoots we've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing is, talking about it being transactional, it's so funny when, we had an experience with a rep from a brand and she was telling us we were really expensive.
And our rates were not just out of the blue. They were based on what,
I mean, we had management.
There was a standard back then. We didn't just say, hey, give us your money.
Yeah. But also I think, it was in that Wild West era where some people were not putting a value on their platform and their content and they were doing it for just free product.
Well, yeah. Like the girl on the trip that said, what do you want me to do? Tell them no.
Yeah. You will take that out. Yeah.
I'll just bleep it.
Yeah. We try not to name drop. Yeah. So
you'll never know I bleeped it.
Yeah. But no, like when the rep was telling us, like she was telling us people and their names, like their social media names, that they would just accept free product. And it was kind of weird to be told you're expensive.
That's what happens when a brand takes you out for some drinks.
Yes. But also
because then their walls come down and you're like, why are you telling me this?
But it was like she was forgetting the fact that it's a business and it's not personal and it's transactional. And, you know, we can like each other and I can love your product. That doesn't mean that I have to or should talk about it for free. Like if I love it and I want to talk about it,
but
sure.
Also, but
that's going to be on my terms, and I'm not going to do talking points.
I'm not sitting here talking to the founder of the brand. This is like a big company, right? Why do you care if my rate is more expensive than Sally over here?
I don't know, but
you're not gonna make more money off of her charging less.
I don't know why she was so invested, but she was.
No.
And
I mean, unless they get some kind of incentive for getting people cheaper.
Yeah. Then she told us if we knew anyone else to send her way. I was like, well, I'm not going to give myself more competition.
Like, okay, here's 5 other competitors that charge less than us.
Yeah. What do you mean?
This is such a weird space.
I think it was also interesting because we've always been on the, I feel, older side, but also looked younger.
Yeah.
So we were underestimated a lot, or just...
Because back then, like, we could be in our, like, I could have been, like, I don't know, let's say 25, and you in your early 30s.
Yeah.
And they may have been, like, slightly younger than me.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, if they were 23...
But we may read like we were early 20s.
Yeah.
Or, like, teenagers. I mean, we would get that we look in high school or college all the time.
Yeah.
So...
We old.
It's just an interesting space. We've been in it for a long time.
Oh, sorry. Ooh.
And we've seen some things.
I know. And I have so many opinions, and I feel like my opinions change all the time because it's like I see what the brand is saying, and I agree with that. And I'm like, but I see what the influencer is saying, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like I could change my mind on a dime about it because it's just
in a perfect world, you know,
Yeah.
it's just not. And most of these brands that are doing the influencer marketing are trying to make money. And
Yeah.
that's just, some people don't like that.
Yeah.
But like, don't you want to make money?
Yeah. I think it's just a difference of seeing something that's more corporate versus like an individual. I don't know. Doors.
It's so loud.
Gosh. Anyway, so Poppy is selling off to Pepsi.
I told Steph, because we looked into it a little bit, and there was something around some questions on how allegedly accurate
The like prebiotic or it's like not
how
enough.
actually beneficial it is or whatever.
Right.
And I said, well, maybe, because I think there was a settlement around it.
Yes. Yeah.
Allegedly. So who knows if that didn't play into the decision for selling to Pepsi.
And they probably wouldn't be able to say anything if there was. But it's just so ironic to come out with a soda and say...
Don't you think?
It's ironic, don't you think? To come out with a soda and be like, we want to be the healthy alternative for the mainstream unhealthy sodas. Years later,
my favorite thing
Pepsi.
is to check brands, like parent company or whatever, on ChatGPT.
Annie's that's supposed to be healthy. Little Annie's, what is it? Rabbit? Is it little rabbits?
Little bunnies.
Little bunnies, little cheddar
But they
bunnies.
have tons of stuff because it's
Mac and
organic.
cheese.
Organic.
All kinds of stuff. It's owned by General Mills.
That's right. Yeah.
So like, and that's that like illusion of choice, which, that makes me so sad because it's like, you think you're getting this small brand, this small business.
Can you see what it says? Like, can you see the time? It looks really light. 47?
Yeah.
Does it look really light?
Not really.
I'm worried about the batteries on that.
Maybe not. You think you're getting like a smaller, healthy, organic-y brand with like less ingredients. And maybe it does have less ingredients and maybe whatever, but it's usually owned by a bigger brand.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Not even just for ingredient wise and for them buying up things that you think are healthy, but also just like sad for small businesses.
But also sometimes they take those products and they change them.
Yeah.
They make them cheaper. They get less quality ingredients, and you know, the things you fall in love with on that brand change, and that sucks.
Stinks.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you have on the docket for us next?
Don't have any pop culture stuff except for leave Millie Bobby Brown alone.
Oh, I just watched her movie last night, The Electric State.
Yeah.
I was telling Maddie about it, and I told you about it, and Maddie was like, her new one? And I was like, yeah, it's really cute.
I gotta watch it. I'll probably watch it this weekend.
I fell asleep during the end of it, so I've got to go back and watch it.
It's so whatever. I fell asleep.
No, Bucky was like, he kind of recapped it for me.
Yeah.
But it's really funny and cute, and it's one that's like not too serious.
Yeah.
And if you want something that's like feel good, fun mood kind of thing.
Didn't give that vibe to me when I watched the trailer. I don't know why.
I don't think I watched the trailer, or I only saw a little bit of it, and I was like, oh yeah, I love Chris Pratt. Like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Okay.
And Millie Bonnie Brown is always a good time.
Millie Bonnie Brown. Yeah. That's her real name.
I know.
Millie Bonnie.
But her dad decided to call her Millie Bobby. No. That's what I saw on...
No, she said she changed it.
That's not what I saw.
She said she changed it.
So I did see that. Maybe she changed it, but I think she was being called it by somebody else.
She said for shits and giggles.
What?
Yes.
That's not what I saw.
Hold on, I'll show you.
I mean, I've seen her talking about it. But I'm telling you, when I searched it last night, I think it was Wikipedia.
Wikipedia's lying. Look.
My middle name is Bonnie. It's
Millie Bobby Bonnie Brown?
No, it's no Bobby. It's Millie Bonnie Brown.
Really?
I've never told anyone that. You heard it here first.
Your middle name is Bonnie?
Yes.
But you just changed it to Bobby for
Giggles.
for your stage name? No shit.
But it says on Wikipedia, she was given the name Bobby by her father. Also, she was born with partial hearing loss in her left ear.
She can't hear out of one of her
and
ears.
now she can't hear at all.
Yeah.
You never know what someone's going through. It's so insane.
Yeah. I don't know. It said she changed it, but now maybe he had called her that. And so maybe she just left that part out and she changed it just because she thought it was funny. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you, that's what it says.
But leave her alone. Okay. Leave her alone. Don't bully her.
Also, so you know how her hair is like really bleached?
Does a
That's
trend.
funny. So in the Electric State movie, it's like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's to show this kind of transition from when she's younger, it's like more natural brown color. And then
In the movie?
to like, yeah. Cause you see her like, I don't know if it's a year later, 2 years later, but there's a time shift where it's
a
like
future
later.
movie? Or is it kind of dystopian? Just not sure.
It's dystopian. You can't really tell
Yeah.
a time period. I don't think they say what year it is, but it's slightly in the future.
Off topic, part of what we want to do, some ideas. Earlier, we talked about doing like relatable or ridiculous.
Yeah.
One thing we really want to do is involve you guys. I don't know if we're going to do it every single week. We might.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to do like a relatable moment for you guys to share with us. Like it could be something good that happened, something crazy, bad,
cringe.
Just like
Think Trauma-Rama.
a relatable moment of the week. And we were going to call it Chaotic Confessions.
I love it.
So we're probably going to do that, but we obviously don't have that yet because we haven't asked you
My
guys.
chaotic confession is doubling up my underwear or my swimsuit bottoms when I was in high school because I was so terrified people would know I had a pad on.
So it can also be just a confession in general. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be recently, but it can be a current thing. Like if something happened to you that week, tell us. And it can be anonymous. Like
we don't have to say your name.
No, like we just can say anonymous said this.
Yeah.
But if you want your name, we can give
Because
like
I think
little,
it's a fun opportunity for people in the comments to kind of be like, oh my God, that is so me. Like I totally have had that happen, which
Yes.
is another fun thing that we want to do.
Yeah, so me or so not me, where I think we're just going to do it, right?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
we talk about one thing that's positive, like a win, a vibe, an outfit, hair day, something just positive that's like, oh, that's so me. And then something negative, like an awkward moment, like a fail. And this can be kind of like how people do like highs and lows of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So me, so not me.
Yeah.
Like high and low of the week.
Yeah. And you can always feel free to share.
Yeah.
And I would say if you guys want to be included in the chaotic confessions, just say that. Or like you can send us a message. You can send it on Instagram, follow us, Pretty Relatable Podcast, all the places. If you say like, I want this to be included on chaotic confessions, then it'll be considered.
Yeah. And we do have an Instagram, a TikTok,
Pretty Relatable Podcast.
places where you can talk to us. So you can leave comments in any place.
Yeah. But if you want it to be anonymous, send us a message.
Yes.
If you don't want to put it somewhere like that.
Yes.
But just say,
But
like,
if you have ideas or anything, like you can talk to us all around social
Yes.
media. Send us a message for the Chaotic Confessions though.
yeah.
And also don't put it public. Send us a message that way. Nobody's ever heard it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't care.
Yeah.
Send a message.
It'll be our little
So it can be our little
secret.
surprise.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It'll be a good time.
I don't really have anything else on the docket for today. I was really just kind of a chit chat, catch up.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It
It was
always
chill.
is. I think we always build up in our brain what it's going to, well, let's not kid ourselves here. It took a lot to get to this point today.
It did. We were like, we're just going to come in this morning and film it and it's going to be great. Currently it is 3:42.
Right.
We've been setting this up since
We walked in.
since 9:30.
Yeah.
And I said,
The things you have to do to get ready. Okay. You got to have lighting. You got to have, we have 3 tripods right now.
Yeah.
3 tripods.
We've got a camera and 2 phones.
We have our ring light.
Yeah.
The audio recorder needed new batteries.
We needed a new SD card, which needed to be cleared off. And
I had to get 2 SD cards ready.
Yeah.
We had to check the settings on our camera.
Hopefully our phones are still recording. If not, you're getting one angle.
Yeah. It's a lot, you guys. So I think that the people who have, production teams and stuff, that's nice.
Yeah.
We're a
Good for you.
2-woman show. We're not bitter. No.
I'm petty.
So petty.
I'm bitter and I'm petty and I don't care.
We have some fun things we want to incorporate, but
maybe a theme song,
a little jingle,
maybe a little outro. Yeah, we might sing. Should we sing?
I think we should. I mean, with auto tune, just like that.
You didn't do the ending to it.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't know the ending.
Woo, I'm white.
Oh, yeah.
That's from NFL Bad Lip Reading.
We
right?
love that. Yeah.
That's
Pretty
such
sure.
a good time. Such a good time.
And even if that's not the part that happens next, it's in there.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
And we've always just mashed it together. You guys that have production teams, but also all of that to say, you can do this if you want. We're filming on phones and a little point and shoot. So
y'all, I will never again wear my hair straight when I do this podcast.
You're getting tangled and on your way.
I feel like it's coming in at me. Just attacking. On my throat. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Hopefully you will see us again.
I think so.
And
for
hear
sure.
from us again. I don't think we're going anywhere this time. Maybe not. We will see.
We're also trying to do our vlogs and videos on 11th Gorgeous.
All while owning a successful online business. Let's go crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know that reference?
Leave it in the comments. We love to quote movies. It happens a lot. So just,
So if you're not a movie watcher, get to watch and see. You'll know our quotes.
Right.
Can't help it. I love movies to the point where I feel like I'm always waiting for another movie to come out.
Yeah.
There's a lot I haven't seen, but I just feel...
My love of quoting movies is so bad that I will say something for so long that I forget where it came from because it just becomes part of my lingo.
Yeah.
And then I will randomly be watching it and then I'm like, oh my God, that's why I say that.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember.
Yeah. I was watching Devil Wears Prada last night and I can't remember what I was saying.
I love that movie.
But sometimes I'll just be watching it and I'll just say something and I'm like, I know I've seen it a lot, but geez, Stephanie.
Oh, that one's a bad one.
Jeez. Like, I can't watch it.
Yeah, I love it so much.
People get annoyed watching it with me.
Nah, I'll watch it with you.
Well, duh, because we both are going to quote it the whole time.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. See, we were talking about catching up and we're going to go, but like we didn't even get to talk about maybe in the next one. Like we went to the Eras tour.
I know. We're completely
We'll
different
talk
people.
about-
We're completely different people than the last time we were here.
Yeah, we talked, then we were just talking about Tortured Poets coming out.
And we were talking about Travis Kelce and her and like
And now,
what we thought about it.
Now we've gone to the Eras
and
tour.
if we were Swifties or not.
And we were, now we're,
It's completely different.
yeah.
Everything has changed.
do we listen to it every day in the office? No. That's for another episode.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
We'll do more catch-ups and segments in the next one.
It was a good time. We're glad you were here.
Yeah. And I think that the Ambien is worn off and we probably will not be napping.
Let's hope.
So we'll probably see you next week.
Yeah, that's the goal.
There'll be a short nap.
Yeah. Just a little while away and then we'll be back before you know it. All right, tell us all the things that you love and don't love and want to see and hear. And we might get to it. We might not.
We'll see.
Yeah. Depends on how we're feeling.
No promises from us ever again.
You can't count on it.
You really can't.
No.
The most unreliable, relatable
Yeah. It's fine.
gals.
All right. We'll talk to you guys real soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.